So a crisis usually entails something in which indicates some high level of need, high level of severity, or high level of urgency. And that could be any number of things. It could be something as kind of general as a student that's highly emotionally dysregulated when they come into our counseling center, where no level of kind of trying to calm or soothe them really is helping to kind of get them to a place that stabilizes them. What that also might look like is a student that just experienced some type of traumatic event, whether that's a rape, car accident, maybe a recent loss of someone that's very close to them, or it could also include things that are a little bit more commonly known, which as some significant suicidal ideation or homicidal ideation. And so what we typically do is when we have students that first come into the counseling center, is we have walk-in hours that we're able to ask some very brief and basic questions around what's bringing them in. And one of the things that we do ask is, are you in crisis? And that's a bit of a general question, but we do offer some sort of distinctions of what would include a crisis that could help a student determine whether or not they should check yes or no. If the student does endorse the yes, that they are in crisis, that is a student then that during the walk-in time we would prioritize and we would have them see a clinician as immediately as possible so that we could as clinicians assess their level of need and provide them with the proper resources in that moment. So typically Monday through Thursday, we have what's considered walk-in hours, where we are able to see students for an initial session to get them started. But one of the things that we also prioritize during the walk-in hours is that particular clinician is also available for any crises that may come in. And crises would be able to then sort of take priority during that hour. As well as we have every evening at our 4 o'clock hour, we have a particular therapist available who's considered our crisis and walk-in therapist, who if someone comes in even at 4:59, right before we're about to close the doors, that there's a designated person that would be able to sit down and meet with that person until we were able to either stabilize them and determine what it was that their needs were before we would then go home for the day. So after hours, we have an answering service on our phone in which we were able to have a live person answer our phone. So if you were to call our PGCC phone number 24 hours a day, a live person would actually answer that. And this service is called Protocol, and it is actually mental health clinicians that would be on the other line. And those individuals are able to kind of assess the situation of what's going on. So it might be something as basic as letting us know that a client is canceling an appointment for the next day, or it might be something as serious as a student who's in a need or crisis. And so we do have those clinicians that are able to kind of talk the student down or talk the student through those situations. And if they were able to de-escalate the situation at that point in time, we then the next morning would get a written summary of the situation of what took place with the student's contact information that we personally here at the PGCC could then follow up with those students. However, we also do have therapists that are available on call, myself as well as other clinicians that are here, that in the event that the protocol clinician could not de-escalate the situation to the point that was satisfactory, that we who are physically here on campus would be able to receive those phone calls and potentially intervene more in a in-person basis, whether that's calling the University Police Department, whether that's calling some of the RAs or CDs on campus. We would be able to then mobilize people that are here physically to be able to meet that student's needs.
If you or someone you know is having suicidal or homicidal thoughts, contact the campus PGCC at this number. If you or someone you know is acting on suicidal or homicidal thoughts, dial 911 to contact emergency personnel.